Hey, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. I have been single for 5 years now and I am sick of it. I think I'm finally at a place where I am ready to be in a relationship. I am healed, I am mature, and I know exactly what I want in a guy. To give you context, I am in Los Angeles, which is, I think, known to be one of the hardest places to date. And as you can tell from the title, I have been on almost every single dating app available. I'll be reviewing the dating apps I have been on, give them a score out of 10, and tell you whether or not I think you should be on it too. First of all, I want to say what exactly I'm looking for in a guy and what sort of relationship I'm looking for too. I am pretty open. Yes, ideally I do want a boyfriend and a long-term partner, but I am also open to having fun along the way. For me, physical attraction is super important and I have to be physically attracted to my partner, otherwise it's just not gonna work out. I don't know if this is healthy, it probably isn't, but for me, I do feel like I need to hook up with someone to see if we're physically compatible, because if we're not physically compatible and there's no chemistry, I don't think I can date them. The apps that I have been on are Tinder, grindr, Hinge, Raya, and I've also been on Sniffies. I have not been on Scruff because I just don't think I'm the demographic. I don't know if that's true or not, but I just think of like bears and daddies when I think of Scruff, so I didn't even bother trying that. So let's start with Tinder. Honestly, I have not been on Tinder in probably 4 years. I think Tinder is one of the biggest dating apps available, and from what I perceive it to be, people say it's for hookups for straight people, but for the gay population, I feel like Tinder is kind of more serious than, say, grindr, and it's less of a hookup app and more of a dating app. Personally, I did not receive a lot of matches on Tinder. I also just really do not like the interface. I hate spending the time swiping left and right and left and right. Like, it's just, I couldn't do it. I was on it for several years, but it just got really tiring for me, and I was like, I don't have the time to do this. I did get a few matches, but not a lot. And I feel like the connections that I made fizzled out really quickly, and it was really hard to maintain a conversation with guys on Tinder. I do think that could be due to the gamification of the app, where it's kind of like swipe left, swipe right. It was just really hard to make any meaningful conversation over there, so I stopped using Tinder. So for Tinder, I would give Tinder personally a 5 out of 10. I've heard some people do okay on Tinder, but I didn't have much success on it. The next app that I use probably the most is grindr. And I know grindr has this reputation of it's purely a hookup app, but honestly, I found my ex on grindr, like that's how we met. And I know a lot of people meet on grindr, and it's, yes, it is a hookup app in a way, but a lot of people are also looking for something more serious over there. It's funny because I think grindr is known to be a hookup app, but then Sniffies came along and I was like, that is a hookup app. Like, that makes grindr look PG. What I like about grindr over Tinder is that it's a grid. So you see lots of squares and you can just click on whoever you find attractive and you can directly message them, which is nice. And obviously, if they like you, they'll message you back. If they don't, they'll just ignore you or block you. The problem with grindr is there are so many ads and bots. Also, one thing that I've noticed is that when I've paid for the premium version of grindr, yes, you get to see a lot more people, there are less ads, but then I feel like they also limit your views and reach. I feel like I was getting more views on grindr on the free version, but it was just so overwhelmed with bots and fake accounts and ads that you really can't use that. So you have to pay for grindr Extra or Unlimited, which is the most expensive one. And Unlimited is actually really expensive. Personally, I would recommend just getting Extra, which is the one up from the free version. And you can see a lot more guys, and there are a few more, I don't remember what the perks are, but like, it's definitely more usable than the free version. I think the selection of people on grindr are better than on Tinder. And like I said, I don't like wasting time, and I don't want to be swiping through tons of people that I'm not even interested in. So I want to directly message people that I find attractive. I will say if you're looking for something serious on Grindr, it can be quite hard because at the end of the day, it is a hookup app. But you can find people that are looking for more than just that. And you can even see that in their bio. It'll be like, oh, I'm looking for dates or hookups or relationships or friends or networking. Although it is an app that I really don't love and there is no perfect dating app, I would say for me, Grindr is up there and it's probably my favorite app. So I give it an 8 out of 10, which is crazy because in the grand scheme of things, it's not the best app. But out of all the other apps that I've been on, it is my personal favorite and the one I use the most. The next app I've used is Hinge. The premise of Hinge is it's designed to be deleted. And yes, one thing that theoretically is nice is that people have filled out bios. You get to know them personally a little bit more with all these icebreaker questions. But personally, I have not been successful on Hinge at all. I don't know why, because I think I'm actually such a catch. Like, I'm pretty cute, but I barely get any likes on Hinge. I think unless you're 6'2", blonde, muscular, blue-eyed, you are struggling on Hinge. My theory is that Hinge tends to reward the 9, 10 out of 10 people who get a lot of views, so they get boosted up, and then the rest of us, we don't get a lot of views. Yes, it's nice to read bios, get to know a little bit more about the person, what they do, what their interests are, but unless I am attracted to you as soon as I see you, like your face, I don't really care. I know that sounds really horrible and superficial and how I'm only judging people based on their looks, but for me, again, I have to be really physically attracted to you, and obviously, personality is more important because looks fade, but to a certain extent, I need to be attracted to your face. I need to think you're handsome and cute before I am even interested in what you have to offer. So the bad thing about Hinge is that it takes a long time because you have to, one, see whether you're attracted to them or not. And if they are attractive, then you scroll through their bio. Then you can either like them or send them a rose. Personally, I don't send people roses. I used to, but now I feel like they're just kind of cringe. I will just send them a like or I'll send them a message with a like. The bad thing about Hinge is if you're on the free plan, you get like 5 likes per day or something, so it's barely anything. And I just feel like the quality of the guys on Hinge that they were showing me were not that great. I feel like on the paid plan, you actually got lower quality guys, and then on the free plan, you got better quality guys. But my other gay friend said he had the opposite experience and he had to pay to see the better guys. So I don't know, I guess it really depends. In theory, I do want to give Hinge an 8 out of 10 because it's nice to kind of build that connection and you think, oh, like I can see what they're into and what their interests are and where they're from, where they go to university. But the reality is I didn't have a lot of success on Hinge, and if I did find someone attractive and I liked their bio and their answers to their questions, they wouldn't like me back. So I literally barely got any matches on Hinge either. So that's why I can't give it an 8 out of 10. I would give it maybe a 7 out of 10. The next app I tried was Raya, and it is an invite-only app. It's been a long time since I've been on Raya, probably like over 5 years actually. And in theory, it's like, oh yeah, it's like invite only and you get exclusive access to like rich people, successful people. But in reality, a lot of the people on Raya were actually just influencers and models and actors who were probably all broke. Occasionally you might see a celebrity there, which was like fun, but like, what are you gonna do? I mean, like I tried messaging one of them just for fun, but like they're not gonna respond, right? I had no success with Raya at all, and neither did 2 of my other friends who are on Raya. They didn't have much success either. I think Raya is really just for social climbers and people who want to be around more successful people, and it's just, I don't know, the vibes were just not there. I will say, yes, they were prettier, they were more handsome on Raya, but that's about it. I think I deleted that after 6 months because I was just like, this is not worth it. I give Raya a 3 out of 10. The last app that I've tried is Sniffies. I'm gonna be completely honest, I was really disgusted by Sniffies when I heard about what it was. First of all, the name, I was like, Sniffies? Like, that just sounds really bad. Like, I don't know, like a pig? Like, what are you sniffing? I feel really uncomfortable. So Sniffies was out for So Sniffies was out for several years before I finally decided to look at it and see what it's about. My phone keeps dying, probably because I'm recording for too long. And now the sun is almost gone, so it's kind of dark, so I'm sorry. But I was saying, I think if you're a kinky person and you're into a lot of different things, you will likely find like-minded people on Sniffies pretty easily because they tend to be less vanilla over there for sure. It can be possible to find love on Sniffies, but I think it's gonna be quite hard, honestly. So for a dating app, I give Sniffies a 5 out of 10. But for a hookup app, I give Sniffies a 8 or 9 out of 10. It is kind of scary because a lot of the times they will not show any faces. And I've had guys message me with no face, no profile, and just like a dick pic. And are like, hey, wanna meet up? And I'm like, can I see your face? And they're like, I don't share face. I'm like genuinely surprised that people show up to some random person's house with no face or let people into their house with no face. Like, that is so scary. I have watched too many true crime horror stuff to like do that. I am not about to get murdered over dick. But overall, my search on finding my future boyfriend has been quite uneventful. I have decided that I will also be trying to join a gay tennis league to hopefully meet like-minded gay people who enjoy tennis, and I really love tennis. I did meet a guy on grindr who I low-key have a crush on, but he has just not been reciprocating the same amount of interest. He has not been initiating any meetups and plans, so I have decided that although I do like him and I really think that there was potential there for us to date, he's not just showing me that he's ready to date or something's going on, so I am gonna put a pause on that little crush, try to stomp on my feelings that I have for him and find someone who will match my energy and match my interests in them. I think dating in a big city like Los Angeles and New York is always challenging, and I think one reason why is because one, there's just too many options available. People are disposable. Guys are like, well, if this guy doesn't work out, I can just move on to the next guy. We just have too many options, and honestly, it's not very conducive to a great dating environment, I feel like. Los Angeles specifically is so spread out. So for example, if a guy is in Santa Monica and I'm on the east side, I don't really want to go all the way to Santa Monica, and it's just going to be really hard for me to date someone who is that far away from me. I personally feel like it might be easier to date in New York just because everything's more walkable and it's more compact versus LA. But I've heard people from New York say dating in New York is just as bad as LA. So I don't know, guys. We're all struggling here. Again, I am Andrew. I am single, living in Los Angeles. I've been in LA since 2012. It's been a while. So I'm basically an LA native at this point. And I'm looking for love. Several years ago, I will say my criteria for men was a little bit delusional and up there. But to be honest, I know I'm a catch. I am a sweet person. I am very loyal. I'm very giving. And once I fall in love with someone, I go all in for them. And because of that, I know that I deserve a really good partner. But I'm also 5'10", so I'm pretty tall, and I do like guys who are taller than me. And you'd be surprised at how many guys are actually under my height. When I'm on the apps, a lot of guys are around 5'7", 5'8". I'm not even kidding. 6 foot is considered tall on the apps. So anyway, my criteria was 6 foot, good job, have their own place, no roommates, outgoing, energetic, positive, handsome, or cute, or both. It used to be, he needs to be a multi-millionaire, jet set me to all these different places. But now I'm like, as long as you're independent, have a good, stable job, make enough money where we're not gonna be struggling, that's fine. So if any of you meet that criteria, slide into my DMs. If you guys have been on the apps, let me know which one is your favorite down below, and make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to me. Also follow me on Instagram so you can see all my daily stories there. Thanks for watching. Bye.